Well, howdy doody, what am I doing now? Hey everybody, welcome to ICHTV. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one am I going to take to the show? You know, I really want to drive the Camaro, but it's a project, everybody. This will be a project for me to get this Camaro out of the shop, because if you look around here, I got too many damn toys. So it comes down to me moving the Jeep. Then I'll have to move at least 3, if not 4 motorcycles. I'm going to have to move, well, first thing I have to do is I'll have to first move the Chevy Bison out of the way. Then I'm going to have to get the Jeep Mojave out. Then I'm going to have to move all the motorcycles out. And then I'm going to get the Camaro out. You know what? That'll drive you crazy. So you know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and go crazy in the plum crazy. Since I just paid a whopping huge amount of money for this vehicle to keep it. Yeah, what's that exhaust? Does that exhaust sound really good? Yeah, I was behind 2 payments, so I just had to make 2 payments in order to keep his vehicle. Otherwise, it would be joining those 2 vehicles there of going bye-bye. So got that, that's good. Do I have my glasses? I don't. Now, let me get this out of its spot. This is such a great car. You just can't emphasize enough. I talk about this car all the time. This is such the practical performance car where you can have so much fun as a vehicle. I mean, you get the Hellcat set up, you can take all of your buddies for a ride and have them all get the kicks with you all at the same time. So this is just really a great fun vehicle. You know, I forgot to mention this morning and how Dodge, or Ram, the new CEO of Stellantis that oversees the Dodge, Ram, Jeep, Chrysler automotive brand stateside, the Ram TRX is coming back. Yeah, the Ram TRX is coming back. They're going to bring it back in the market, but I think to myself, oh my gosh, they had that thing priced up to $125,000. Wow. All right. It's never ending getting things in order to get out of here. I'm going to make a drive to see a customer, and it's just me getting out of here is never simple. Make sure you have everything you need. So once you get somewhere, you'll be like, oh, that's right. Oh, I didn't bring this or that. But here we are in the Dodge. I'm going to change out my tag to my personalized tag, and I sent the freaking paperwork to do this. Florida no longer lets you do transactions over the phone. It's so ridiculous. You can no longer do transactions over the phone. Now you have to literally mail in the paperwork with the check, blah blah blah. I mean, aren't we supposed to be getting simpler? I mean, aren't things supposed to be getting simpler, everybody? I mean, what is going on? I mean, sincerely. It seems like things are getting more complicated. So anyways, this tag here technically is dead, but I'm an out-of-state guy, so can a state, you think this through, could a state trooper pull me over and then cite me for a dead tag in his vehicle? I guess they probably could, but it's an out-of-state tag. But I got a legitimate reason what's going on, that, hey, I'm changing the tag, and you have to go through the mail. You can't do it over the internet. You can't do it over the phone. You have to go through the mail for me to swap tags, so it just doesn't end, everybody. So here we are. So what am I doing now? I'm trying to get on my gate. Trying to get on the road to go ride about an hour plus. It'd be interesting if I've been doing a lot of exercise in my pool for my leg. And it'll be interesting, and my right side of my body definitely has healed a lot. But only time will tell, because I've got over an hour drive one way. I'll be in this car today close to 3 hours. I mean, it'll be over 2 hours of driving time, but just me having to take care of other things as well. So here we are going down the road, and I had my morning conversation, already having people reach out, and it's a great conversation. And on my channel, I've been the guy to divulge, for the most part, all of the craziness of who I am and what I've done to myself through the car addictions that have ruined me. and it's not good, but it is what it is. If you're an addict, do you admit that you're an addict? I mean, that's a big challenge in life. Are you a sex addict? Are you an alcoholic addict? Are you a drug addict? Are you a womanizer? I mean, are you a control freak addict? I mean, there's so many things. Are you a money monger addict? Are you a hoarder addict? Are you a work person, addict? Meaning all you ever want to do is just work, and your family comes secondary. So there's so many ways you can look at the addictions of human beings, of what they have. Are you a hunting addict? Some people get off on killing animals and going fishing all the time. I mean, their whole life revolves the next adventure of going on a hunting trip. I mean, are you a golf addict, where your whole life revolves, your only happiness is if you get to go out and play golf or tennis, or you go to the gym? I mean, we all have addicts. It's something. Are you a porn addict? Are you a person that has to watch porn every day of your life? Are you a gambler? Do you have to go online and gamble or play the lottos? I mean, that's huge. It's huge. In fact, really weird, a lot of people are posting that Las Vegas has gone dark. Have you heard about this? So I'm seeing on Facebook and other social media, people are saying on X that Las Vegas is like dead in the water. So you step back and say, what's going on? Well, some people speculate that Donald Trump is pissed off all the foreign adversaries and all the foreign travelers that they're not coming to our country because they don't like Donald Trump. So that's one. I mean, that's a huge conversation when it talks about the Canadians being pissed at us and they're not coming here and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, you just have to say to yourself, between the online capability of gambling, you can gamble online for the most part. All the states now have borderline casinos. I mean, I can't name every state, but I know the state of Virginia has casinos. I believe Tennessee, Florida. I mean, you can go through the list of all the states now that have casinos. Here in Maryland, they have a big MGM casino. So why are you going to Las Vegas like you would have 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago? Because so many states had outlawed or banned, gambling, and for that reason, you had no choice but to go to Las Vegas. So, but Las Vegas, I think, is more of Las Vegas has more than that to offer per se for entertainment. Yeah, let's not go down that path, right? So anyways, it's the addictions. Once again, my conversation this morning right now is talking about the addictions of what us human beings do that create harm to ourselves and others as well. And I just think that anybody out there that's going to stand up and say, well, I have no addictions, I'd be like, you do. There's something about your life, your personality, that you're addicted to, but you don't want to raise your hand and admit it. So you could be the person that counts every penny and cent addiction. You don't share. You're like, nope. You go. I mean, there's people out there that hoard every penny they have, and the family, at the end of the day, in their will, the kids get nothing, and the dog shelter gets everything. You don't think this stuff goes on? Sure it does. All right, we've got our Yacht Rock Radio playing, the summer edition, everybody. And I'm in the adaptive cruise control mode, which is so cool. But I can already kind of feel my right side, the posture of my body, on how it kind of hits that area for the cicadia, cicatia, I think is how they pronounce it, from your just your right side of your body, the nerves that run through your body. So it'll be interesting to see. This is going to be one of my longer drives that I've had in a while, how my body holds up in the Dodge Charger. Such a great car, everybody. It really is. And the thing is, Dodge is going back to the gas engines. I mean, it's incredible how many manufacturers are changing course back to the ICE age, and they know the EV age just isn't really ready. And so they see what's going on. The consumers don't want the electric vehicles. You have to say to yourself, what do you have to say to yourself? If Joe Biden did not get elected into office, would the craziness of everything getting so expensive follow the same path? Because there's so many things that are green agenda driven, meaning the red meat, the chickens. You can start going through the list of the green agenda whack jobs, way they think and process. They're addicts. So talking about addicts, you have addicts out there that are addicted to thinking they know what tomorrow is. So this is the green agenda activist whack job, that they're an addict. They get caught up in thinking and listening to the likes of Al Gore and Greta Thunberg, whatever the hell that late girl's name. Her daddy brainwashed her. Her daddy is hiding behind her. I don't know if you know that or not. The Greta whack job girl over there in Europe. Is she from Ireland there, Mr. Dermont? I'm not sure which country she's from, but she's over the European green agenda whack job world. And so they're addicts. They're totally addicted to saving the planet, saving the world. And they'll do just about anything at any risk and at any cost to prove that they're right and you're wrong. And the point is, had Donald Trump been reelected in 2020, would the country be in the inflation chaos that we've witnessed? Meaning, would we have gone to war? Would the Ukraine-Russia war been not ever happen? That would have been a huge difference in the fuel prices never spiking like they did from the Russia sanctions. And then you go to the Inflation Reduction Act that Joe Biden brought to the table, that was all about getting rid of the ice age, all about getting rid of the waste and the green agenda's views of mankind's eating, air conditioning, heating. The list goes on and on and on. When the cars have gotten so expensive, so under Joe Biden, he forced a hand for the whole auto industry to remap itself for the future of transportation, which created huge financial investments overnight and commitments that made everything very expensive. And then in the back end of the room that people are saying we'll have to just use the ice age vehicles to supplement the advancement of EV vehicles. So you have to say, with Joe Biden being elected as president, I personally feel he created the havoc in inflation in our country so quickly, never ever seen. And how the big business got away with it. And the government supported it because they knew the underlying goal and motive was to change the direction of the renewables, the energy, the lifestyles of mankind to be more of the eco-friendly green agenda addictions. And so if Donald Trump had been reelected, do you think that the auto industry would have been forced a hand? We know that answer. They would not have. Would the auto industry then jack the prices of all these ICE vehicles like they did overnight? I don't think they would have. And the downside is that us individuals like me, the car addicts, even though the industry jacked the prices, people continued to go and buy these vehicles, which just in the back room said to the big auto executives, hey, we just literally did the biggest price increases ever in manufacturing, but the people are still buying cars. So the hidden little, story behind the back doors is they're all like, wow, did we even need the green agenda to do this? Wow, these consumers still are paying the bill when we can't let them know that this is really being driven by subsidizing the EV green agenda. Well, now that's all been taken away. So what's their story? And then you have to say to yourself, you see in how these tariffs, GM, Stellantis, even Ford, they're eating at the moment millions and millions, if not billions of dollars on their books of losses because they're eating the tariffs. But you have to say to yourself, well, wait a second. Maybe this is showing now that you raised all the price of these cars that was overinflated, and really you're kind of now back to the pricing and the cost structure because you're having to pay these 25% tariffs because you raised the price of your vehicles and the consumers paid for it. And now you're worried that if you have to raise the prices even more, you've already screwed yourself because you took advantage of the green agenda being an excuse to jack your prices, which you did, but now you have the tariffs on your door, so you're going to be able to use that again, and the consumer is still going to flock to dealerships? Yeah, you have to really think, everybody. So if Donald Trump had been reelected, I think the Ukrainian war would not have happened. The Inflation Reduction Act would have never happened. The tariffs, would have Donald Trump been so hell-bent on the tariffs, he was going after China, which we all saw that China was starting to feel the pinch off of Trump. A lot of people speculated that the virus that came from China was really a target against Donald Trump. That was many people's, conspiracy theories, speculation, whatever it may be. Here we are in their town. So this guy here, so this is what happens in real estate. So right now, just picture, this is the picture you see. This is the picture you see, this beautiful little house. Not knowing you're in this very crowded residential area. And it's just incredible how those two houses overnight were sold. Those are $1 million homes. Some guy bought one lot and put two houses on it. I guarantee he sold those two houses for $2 million. I guarantee you, conservative, those homes are $800,000, $900,000. That guy probably paid for the lot, the one lot, probably $500,000, $400,000. There was a house on it. And then he turned around and he probably pocketed, at the end of the day, probably a good $300,000. I mean, maybe not that much, maybe more, but it's not a bad gig that he accomplished that. So, anyways, as we drive through town here, don't get myself in trouble, I got to take care of some business, so I'll be back in a moment. Well, the crazies are out there. Goes a guy in a Harley. He's doing 100 miles an hour, man. I wish I would have had my video on. Pretty badass sounding bike. It's a chopper with the big old meat hangers. I mean, this guy's rocking. I mean, he's gone. I'm at 73, and I'm standing still. This is this area. Good Lord. Oh, it's hard to, some days it's hard to do the conversations riding around because the phone starts ringing, things start happening, so it's hard to stay on the focal point. So like me now, you kind of get that rhythm of what you're talking about, where you're kind of going with everything, and then boom, it's all destroyed because I have to take care of other issues, so the brain just kind of goes into the limp mode, if you know what I mean. We're having a good old time, but my right side of my body's starting to kind of feel this sitting in this vehicle because I've done it for so many years, and my body just really has taken a lot. I mean, I've been really a very physical person in my career, and sitting behind the wheel of a car has been most of my life, truck, car, whatever it may be, and it's taken a toll on my tuchus, my ass. Yeah, and that's why, I just don't really enjoy doing this anymore. Years ago, I enjoyed riding around in my car. I had the fun time of being in cool trucks, cars. That's just kind of has come to an end. It's just not what it was because I've done this. But you don't realize I'm 40 years in. 1985, I started living behind the wheel of a vehicle for my beginnings of my career. So you're talking 40 years. 40 years. I guarantee you there's many people on the channel that worked 25, 30 years and retired. I'm still going, I'm still doing what I did 40 years ago, meaning living on the road behind the wheel of a car in this DC metro area. And it's just like, am I sick of it? I am. And thank goodness I have Brian to pick up where I just don't do this like I used to do this. I just, no way. Anyways, really good comments coming through the morning conversation. I'm enjoying reading them. A lot of content, a lot of information, a lot of variables that play out in the society that we live in with finances, government interference, or government governance, however you want to look at it. So I get it. And here's like the Beltway. This is the Washington, D.C. Metro area where the Beltway going into Maryland already, if you're an individual that doesn't know these roads, you're already in an hour-long adventure just to get across the bridge, if not longer. So if you're going to Maryland today and you're coming from Virginia to go north into Maryland, you're already been sucker punched because you're in stop-and-go traffic because of construction. And we pretty much route our days to avoid this whole area getting the day going because it's so challenging. I mean, look at this here. I mean, I'm telling you, I've been in this stuff. That's a good 45 minutes to get from here to the Cabin John Bridge. I mean, I could be very conservative, say 35, 40. It could be up to an hour. It just depends. And it's not even, noon. It's just noontime. And now I'm in the Beltway, where this is the crazy time where people want to go 80, 90 miles an hour on the Beltway. And I got a guy in a Caddy. The new Caddy electric vehicle, SUV, apparently is one of the fastest Cadillacs out there right now, I guess, in the SUV. I guess in general. How much is that? I think I have one coming up behind me in my car. Yeah, the electric vehicles for sure are incredibly potently fast. For the ICE people, you're not going to beat those guys with all this new technology. You're going to get smoked to a degree. Just depends what you got underneath the front hood.